We'll have time to take photos outside, but please let's come in. We want to start our program. Our friends from Protocol Department can help us for people to settle down so that we start and we finish in good time. Vive Ballon! Vive Ballon! All right. Welcome to this very auspicious event. Mugde Brandiliwa, Pamene Makarabo, Onyadila Wabilia Namuatu Yazaba. We've been waiting for this event. Ndikutaka kuchembeleza tatu cha function nishashukuru wapili, and we hope by the end of this conference would have made friends and tikaso inadabera wenzenu zimezilabo mastai lomo wako informal resident. Just for introductions, Glory Waza Daniels. I'm a midwife coming from Wider Hospital, and I'll be with my colleague who will be directing this ceremony together. He'll come at some point and introduce himself, but he's coming from Kamani. So before we begin our program, we need to open with the word of prayer. Tibempe, Anesi, Amodzi, and another KAMUZU Central Hospital at the Tibempe. Now, Anamino KAMUZU Central. Yes, can we get one? I just take the so that we start our function. Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the gift of life that you continue to give us all these things. Thank you for this day. Jehovah God, you planned for this day, but it is in powers for it to fulfill. May you guide us in love of godliness. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Amen. We once again welcome you. Thank you for that beautiful prayer from KAMUZU Central Hospital. Babali bantu dikarasi alendo oyemebeze amene akhala yakubwera akabwera panthawi yoti abanga introduce bwinobwino amene wawo azakhala behind table kwathu
Komanose Muveti Dimo Oyandivido Wandini Bamarano. We want to do a roll call before everything, just to check who is with us. Sananibate East Yama district, so Dikarugo Cheba randomly.
Viva Nom! Viva it's a very beautiful function. We want to welcome you. You're welcome. Let's introduce first of all myself. Gloria has introduced herself already. My name is George, and I'm a nurse midwife, George Nkoma. I encourage the way with the Biennial Momentum Project. Nurse. So if I have minutes, I'm going to go into this Gloria. You could learn my beautiful faces, ever smiling faces of nurses and midwives. You're welcome. We'll be doing a lot of this is our function. We have a lot of activities to do. But for us to be able to accomplish that, we need to keep time. So TNTO, Anzato amena toka kusanji ameni banja tentirowe tipika titubola ndio kawina ali kwa kuli Black Saturday so the road Black Saturday usiku ndio Black Friday. Anzato amena toka kuzuzu kukipa tentirowe, and let's get our seats. And for those of us who are just coming in, let's occupy the front seats Yambe. So I want to assume all of us have an agenda or a program for digestive pathway. So let's check. If you don't have, you can call on us, call on Anzafa Protocol, they'll be able to help you. Make sure you have an agenda in front of you. Not only the agenda, you should also have a printed copy of nurses' plate and the so. We should have all those things. So just check. For all partners or donors who are making presentations, if you know you have a presentation to make, kindly bring your presentations forward. We want to have all the presentations preloaded so that we keep time. So change your way. We want to Chichipa Central East constituency, Africa, London, change Frigate, Kalima, Togolo, Chibese Pokara, Matiame, Mokoatu. We are about to start our function, and we want to ask you that you occupy the front seats. We'll be having the guest of honor who is going to join us soon. And the guest of honor for this function, distinguished nurses and midwives, is the Minister of Health, Honorable KAMUZU and CHIPONDA, who also happens to be the MP, and she'll be getting in shortly. So here we should put our house in order and let the budget roll. We want to start. And yes, we are going to start with a roll call. And our roll call is going to start from the southern region. We start our roll call from the southern region. This guy is starting with in the south.
Blantyre. Blantyre, are we here?
Yeah.
Viva Blantyre!
Here, glory. Black tie going immediately. What's a big by black tie, stand, just stand. And whoever does, we Thank you so much, Blanca. Very organized, punctual, on time. They are all seated and all in. Thank you so much. We now move into Zomba. Zomba, is it Zomba?
No, I think
Chilatu. All right, let's go to Chilatu. Do we have Chilatu here? I told you we should start with Zomba. Right, we don't have Chilatu. Where else do we go?
Okay, let's go Zomba.
Zomba. Do we have nurses and midwives from Zomba here? Yes. A very strong Viva from Zomba. Viva Zomba!
Viva!
So let's do this for us to show solidarity and encourage others to come next time. Viva as younger, at this cow, I make why you now, eh? Kamera moja yeye akuwe Viva au kwa hivi na kwani. Mugacha is the next time they will come here, they will think, oh, Zomba was only presented. Great. Next, where are we going? Chihuahua. Really music in our Chihuahua, are you here? Chihuahua is not here. Nsanje, the lower states. Do we have Nsanje? We're not asking people who want to Nsanje. Do we have people who are working in Nsanje and they are here? No, Nsanje is not here. We move.
Okay, Neno,
the upper side of Malawi. Now we have many people here. Let's start. We want to give you a very strong Viva. Viva Neno! Viva! Excellent. Thank you so much for descending the hills and bringing it to this place. After that, we go to
Manza, and Kamuzu.
Do we have Manza?
Okay,
Manza is not here. We know what people are about, so they are busy nursing COVID patients on the borders. Great, where else do we go? Palombe, we still in the south. Do we have representation from Palombe in this place? Palombe is not here. Great, we move. Where else do we go? Mulanje. Do we have Mulanje here? Wow, Mulanje is also not here. It seems the whole south is not here. Great. Yes, Cholo. Do we have Cholo here? We don't have Cholo again. Wow.
We are done with this.
Great. We move. So where do we go next? We're still in the south. You want us to go to Machinga?
Yes.
Great. Do we have Machinga in our midst? Machinga? Others are coming. Yes. Oh, so we see the rest of the others in you. Yes. Great. Viva Machinga!
How do you say Viva now?
All right, a very big Viva for Machinga. Viva Machinga! Wow. Great. Next.
They were asking Baraka, but I was like, isn't Baraka
Oh, after we already in the East, Zoma, and then we've done Machinga, so let's go Baraka. Do we have Baraka here? Baraka? Oh. I'm going to Baraka or Baraka. Alright, we move. Do we have Mangochi? So we only have one magic, two magic from the east, the whole eastern region. Mustori Magaya East. So we are going to do in the east. Make sure you bring rest of the districts next time. Great. Where else do we go from here?
Are we done in the south of this thing?
I think we are done. For the south, yes, we are done.
Let's go up north.
We go up north. I see a lot of faces from the north. And the north is well organized always. Punctual and to make sure they come in large numbers. You'll be surprised. Rest of the people remaining in here from the north. Let's start with Chitipa. My district, Chitipa. Do we have Chitipa? Yes. So Chitipa, just stand and give them a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, from where we are seated, below where the farthest district is Chitipa. It's not easy for Chitipa to be here. We appreciate you so big. Ufipa, eh? Well, so Ufipa, Ufipa. Thank you so much, Ufipa, and well represented by two and gender sensitive for that matter. I like that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, big up Itipa.
Yeah, we move and next we go to where do we go? Next?
Rupi.
We go to Rumpi. Do we have anyone from Rumpi here? Rumpi? Yeah, Vika. In a Vika. Vivara. Okay, this is good now. Vivara, Rumpi, Vivara. Great, thank you so much. Welcome, Rumpi. This is Lilongwe. This is the capital, and welcome to KHUMBIZE, to this BGM. Thank you so much for making it. Where else are we going?
On the way to the district which supplies us very good rice. Karonga.
Kilombero district.
Karonga.
They are standing on the point of border. Ladies and gentlemen, Karonga is here. I see three faces from Karonga. Mary and company. You also Vivara, right? Vivara, Karonga, Vivara! Vivara, Kilombero, Vivara! Thank you so much. We have to be on the sidelines and we expect to find at least teaching about without listening alone. Thank you. Next, we go.
On the way to the great republic of Zimbabwe.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, a nation on its own, a nation within a nation. Malawi, Zimbabwe. It's fighting within Malawi. Do we have Zimbabwe? It has two districts, north and south. Let's start with Zimbabwe North. Do we have representation from Zimbabwe North? Zimbabwe is already represented, but we have a very district reports. Yeah. Let's give a big round of applause to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is here with good numbers. Vivara, Zimbabwe North, Vivara. So in Zimbabwe North, we have Biennial, we have St. John's, Zuzu, and the rest of the facilities within Zimbabwe. Welcome. And sorry for the change in weather. We understand you guys are used to cold weather, the weather of the capital of Zimbabwe. But we are in the central region and welcome. Zimbabwe South. Do we have Zimbabwe South represented here? Great, Zimbabwe South. Stand up, Zimbabwe South. Oh, well represented. 5 faces from Zimbabwe North, Zimbabwe South. Feel welcome. Viva Zimbabwe South, Viva! Viva! Thank you so much. Take your seats. We move to what's next? You want us to go to the corner?
No. Akuidu. Kajabe, are you here? Amukaja ulipo.
Kajabe is not yet in. Great, we move. Do you want us to jump to Likoma?
No, let's go to Likoma.
Likoma, another country. Do we have anyone from Likoma?
Overseas.
By design, the only district within the nation. Great. We should assume or hope they are on their way. We done with the north?
Yes.
But even not how the board. Good. We move to the central region. And ladies and gentlemen, from the center we are going to start with the KAMUZU. Do we have representation of Kasulu? Yes. And Kasulu stand? Oh, God. Great. Viva Kasumu, viva! Excellent. One viva that sounds more better than the rest of the vivas. Thank you so much. Next, we move to where, Glory?
The border district, Njinji.
We go to Chinchi, and we hope our borders are safe, because once I was not here, I was not present, but he's not present. And I'm worried if we don't have Chinchi, maybe these days at least. Oh, Chinchi's here. Great, stand up, Chinchi, stand up.
Wow.
Excellent. Oh, wow. Let's give them a big round of applause. So far, best representation this morning so far. Congratulations and thanks for making it. Viva Chinchi. Viva Chinchi, viva! Excellent. Take a seat. Thank you so much.
From the land of Malawi, Doha, are you here? Let's stand. Doha district. Washewa manager. Okay, viva Doha! Thank you so much.
Great. Where do we go? We've done Chinchi, we've done Kasumu, and we have done
Over to officers on cheesy.
Chisi. Yes. Do we have Chisi?
Do you have cheese in the house?
What do you want?
Stand.
What do you want? Great. Thank you so much for coming. Feel welcome. We are so proud of you. Viva Chisi, viva. Great. Take your seat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We move and we go to Boda. Boda is Boda here. Great. Sometimes you listen to the noise coming from the district and the number of people you can't match. But that's Boda anyway. Viva Boda, viva! Excellent. Thank you so much for coming, and we're so proud and appreciate your efforts to make this auspicious occasion. Next.
Salima.
Salima. Is Salima here? Salima. Salima is coming tomorrow. Why not today? Salima is coming tomorrow. They have a request to ask why they're not making it today. Great. Next, where do we go?
I think we are just remembering one.
Great.
Joe.
How do we have representation from Cheo? Anyway, those who come from Cheo, are we here? Excellent. Next time, we hope you are going to mobilize the team and you'll be here. Data. Do we have representation from data? Data, Cheo and rest of the surrounding facilities, are we here? You see, it was as good as not mentioning them. As after all, they're not here. Great, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for me to present to you the capital city of Malawi, the only district that has so many health centers and health facilities, private, charter, training institutions. This is a district none other than Lilongwe. Ladies and gentlemen, and we have representatives from Lilongwe, all facilities from Lilongwe, and we stand. So you see students. These are the hosts. Sometimes, if I were in a football commentary, I would say this is Qatar for this game. This is our Qatar, and we're so proud that you have welcomed us like this. You have done a lot of groundwork for us to be here. Your contribution to this function, a lot of effort. Thank you so much. Let's give them a round of applause. So, how do we celebrate? What kind of gift do you want? Sorry? Oh, you know that. Vivala Liongo, Vivala! We are doing this deliberately, I will know, to show you the plan. Ufifa Liongo, Ufifa! We have to go to the south, Chapinda lower states. Vivamo, 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 no! Viva no, viva! Thank you so much. Oh, you're betrayed. You're betrayed. Home ground, yeah? Hey, that's not good place in the background. Hey, place in the background. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let me endeavor to remind you who are making presentations. Please, let's make sure we submit our presentations so that they are preloaded. We're doing this because we want to be more organized. Sometimes you bring your flash. So we don't want to have such mishaps, and we are asking you to come, make sure that you test and confirm you are submitting the correct version of your presentation. Let me also take this opportunity to recognize the presence of a lot of partners that Dom is working with. I'll start with the Nurses and Midwives Council of Malawi. I see Nurses and Midwives Council sitting on the far right. So Nurses and Midwives Council, we want you to show yourself to the nurses in here that you are here. Can you just wave on us, wave at us? Oh, on the one. And the registrar is outside. So the council is here. Welcome. Thank you so much. These are very beautiful nurses and midwives from across the country. And believe you me, these are the most ethical nurses and midwives. You're not getting a certificate from any of these. We go to Mazin. Where is Zero Saonanye? Is Mazin here? Yes. Can you just wave, give us a big wave? Thank you so much. We appreciate that you're partnering with the nurses. We appreciate that you're investing in our work. We appreciate that you're actually recruiting nurses. We want to ask you to recruit more. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have our colleagues from Hatch. Is Hatch here? Hatch is here. Just raise your hands. Yes, so our colleagues from Hatch, they have their pavilion, their tent mounted over there. You can go and appreciate what they are doing. And thank you so much, Hatch, for your investment that you're doing in nurses, midwives, newborns, and also the mothers of Malawi. We appreciate so much for your work. We are going to hear much more about the Hatch project as we events unfold. We also have our colleagues
from Old Mutual Malawi. Can you just stand and wave at us and show that you're present? Old Mutual? Yeah, thank you so much for your investment in the healthcare delivery system. We have also our partners from Yogas. Yes, there you are. Thank you. Giving us renewable and sustainable energy, sources of energy. We thank you so very much for being a part of our event today. And also, we want to always thank our partner, the Norway Nurses Organization, for being our consistent partner throughout the birth of we appreciate at some point in the program we'll have a message from our partners from Norway as well. So to every partner who's here, we say thank you and we appreciate every effort that you're putting in in making sure that you uplift the lives of the nurses and midwives of Malawi, so that our delivery of care should be that of standards. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Gloria. Do we have Smile Life? Smile Life? Is Smile Life here?
I think they are absent.
Great. So, we're going to proceed with our program. And we'll proceed by observing our professional ethos. I just made a pledge to the Nurses Midwives Council that we are the very, very ethical nurses and midwives in here. We want to show them that we are really professional and ethical. Ladies and gentlemen, this being a nursing midwifery function, we cannot do without our nurses' prayer and the pledge of service. We are also going to do our solidarity song. But I wanted us to agree. Can we reserve, I'm seeking for a guide, I'm seeking your guidance. Can we reserve the candlelighting part until the guest of honor is here? Is it? If she was here already, we will proceed. But I wanted us to keep at least two things. So the solidarity and the candlelighting. Everybody, because we want to make sure that the message is sent to the top level. Is that okay? Inafaa nigende. Ifeomba ni manesi yaza babene tikusuka kazi chikali. Kumaso kugira chino hiyo. Motsacha ndobedo zose zimene ungwe latu limele limatiangalira la nurses and midwives council of Malawi lina kazi kinza. Okuma ngene zimene zibazikaba zimene mababa. Nurses prayer hali ya solidarity imeanza kama ndio zinazolewa. Then mabemba kuti izoteka kuti tisunge kagawo kakandoni say nurses song. Nurses song ni kandulo. Tisisunge tisibange against the honor aware. Chifukwa chimene maganiza zimene tonena kuti timafaso likukhalira 1 minute yabe because okumbukira manesi midwives ambiri amene adaya mchakachi. Timafula mosiyana-siyana, you and I agree, we've lost a lot of nurses this year. Some of them have died while saving lives. I'm a leader because of COVID, and I'm a leader because of a lot of. So we have lost a lot in the battlefield. Is it possible that we can reserve the two until we have the guest of honor? Is that okay? We proceed. So we'll do the nurses' prayer and the pledge. Yeah, nurses' pledge and the nurses' prayer.
Yeah, so Pasiti Bamena Karamo, you'll find there was a program and the printed copy Mrs. Printed. So, I'm always a corner, and that's what and that's what can we take note of those hands raised so that we assist them accordingly? Thank you.
And that's why many banja to women in Norway, our colleagues who are outside. And we expedite the legislation so that we do this together. We are going to stand, all of us are going to stand 20 minutes. Hii makanga nitawi jayanda liso charity. Charity unga kwa nitawi saisi maima nao, kubela wanatawi da kusa, So can I ask you to stand, all of you to stand? And I'm going to ask KCH team. KCH team, you are going to lead us, and we are going to start with the Nessus prayer. After the Nessus prayer, we are going to remain standing, and we are going to continue with the Nessus prayer. The Nessus prayer. We do this deliberately. We want to reaffirm our commitment to making sure that we observe and we are professional as much as we do what we can. When we get back to the hospitals, when we get back on the bedside, some of us are tutors, some of us are lecturers, some of us are working in NGOs and various spaces within the health sector. We want to remind you that as a profession, we don't just exist, we exist and we observe these pillars. So we want the best representation from you of the profession. So we'll start, as I said, by the Nessus prayer. KCH, lead us in the Nessus prayer.
As I care for and comfort my patients today, be there with me, O Lord, I pray. Make my words shine, for it means so much, and in my hands place your healing touch. Let your love shine through all that I do, so that those in need may hear and feel you. Amen.
I solemnly pledge myself to the service of humanity,
and I will endeavor to practice my profession with conscience and dignity. I will maintain by all means in my power the honor and the noble traditions of my profession. The total health of my patients will be my first consideration. I will hold in confidence all personal matters coming to my knowledge. I will not permit considerations of religion, nationality, race, or social standing to intervene between my duty and my patients. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I make this promise solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you so much. Beautiful Nessus midwives. We can take our seats. Thank you so much, nurses and midwives. We are going to have the guest of honor shortly. The entourage is here. That's Vincent Panga, and he is the personal assistant to the minister. So he was just assuring me that she'll be here in the next 5-6 minutes. Thank you so much for the Nessus prayer, ladies and gentlemen. The focus is whatever we do, let's reflect the love of God through ourselves. And all of us are aware where this profession is coming from, and it cannot take out the component of love in everything that we do. So we want to make sure that we have love ahead of everything that we do in all the interventions that we are providing. For the pledge, it's you making a commitment. You making a commitment where you're committing yourself to do the best or to provide care in the best interest of the professional values and the ethics. So this is what we expect of all the Nessus midwives. Thank you so much for taking that commitment once more, and we so much appreciate of that. Where we jump into next as we wait for the guest of honor.
George, I just wanted to concur with you before we jump to the next item on the agenda. Just why Migira and Amino they are working tirelessly in our corridor camps. It's not easy. Yeah, so they're putting themselves at risk as well, but they are there taking care of those patients. I think it reflects on the commitment, on the prejudice that we make as a profession. So a big shout out to all our nurses working in such high risk areas. We say thank you and we salute you.
Thank you so much, Glory. I'm actually reminded the next activity is supposed to be highlighting the film. But this as well requires the presence of the minister. I'm glad to see the ministers being arriving outside. An assurance that she's going to be joining us in a minute from now. But just to highlight the fact that this year's theme is nursing and midwifery around the world, an investment to attain universal health coverage, UHC, and sustainable development goals, the SDGs. Once more, nursing and midwifery around the world, an investment to attain universal health coverage and sustainable development goals, SDGs. So, ladies and gentlemen, the guest of honor will be getting in. As she gets in, I would want to ask all of us to stand so that we welcome her in a different way. We want her to feel at home. The nurses and midwives appreciate the fact that she can spare her time. She's a very busy servant, and it's not easy to spare time to be with us today. So I want us to stand as she gets in, and probably we can let them sit on the red carpet with a round of applause until they get in. Siku zote so we want to massage that relationship and make sure that she gets in until this yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, she's about to get in, and great. Ladies and gentlemen, let's stand. I see the letter to our guest of honor. Our guest of honor, thank you so much for coming and we welcome you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We can take our seats. So what is happening now is that the guest of honor is getting through the pavilions. She's appreciating what we do, but as soon as she finishes with her viewing of the pavilions, we are going to continue singing. We are going to start and we continue singing. We'll sing a bit louder and better. Yeah, louder and better. I'm reminded that we make sure that the plant rows are filled, especially according to our full uniforms. We want you to occupy plant goals. I mean, our uniform. I apologize for not putting on my own. I was told to not put on a uniform. I don't know why, but now I feel guilty. I should have put on my uniform. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, we have a lot of partners, we have a lot of donors, we have a lot of friends of love, friends of nurses and midwives in Malawi. We have the Nursing and Midwives Council of Malawi, who happens to be the curator body of the profession. So what's happening now is that they are giving a brief to the guest of honor, the Honorable Minister, Honorable KAMUZU, Honorable CHIPONDA, who is also the MP. I also see the Secretary for Health, Charles Ensemble, is also there. And what's happening is that the council is making a brief presentation of what it takes to regulate nursing and midwifery in Malawi. And not only in Malawi, but in all these districts, all these beautiful nurses and midwives, starting from the training institution, issues of setting standards, making sure there's a code of ethics, and making sure that all of us are practicing the best interest of our nurses and of our population, of our mothers, families, women, men, young boys in Malawi. And so, I see the council has done their brief presentation. And next, the guest of honor is on the next pavilion, which is a pavilion for the Medical Aid Society of Malawi, MAZIM. MAZIM is a partner with the association, with the organization. MAZIM is a very big partner to the profession, the nursing profession. As I did mention earlier on, they are one of the key employers of nurses and midwives. So they appreciate so much the way that nurses and midwives do. And they are making their presentation, the role that they are taking in making sure that the sustainable development goals in universal health coverage is made, but with the support of an investment in nursing and midwifery. And from there, she's going to jump on to the next pavilion. So, ladies and gentlemen, MAZIM is a service provider, service provision agent, and they are also into insurance, health insurance. Remember, part of the key changes that we want to see in the health sector is that nurses and midwives should also be insured in terms of access to health. Sometimes you fall sick and you would want to, say, go outside or access medical care elsewhere. They are there to provide all that support. So they're taking through the minister and rest of the iterate that presentation. The presentation of the services that they do, what they are and what they stand for, making sure that there is service delivery of high quality in Malawi. Our colleagues who are seated at the back, let's make sure that we fill the plant rows. Nurses, midwives who are in uniform, make sure that you fill the plant rows. We know there are a lot more of our colleagues coming, but we want to start with the plant rows. So that's a pavilion about MAZIM, the Medical Aid Society of Malawi. As the guest of honor is going to preside over this function, we also take that as a privilege or an opportunity for all the partners that we're working with in the profession to reaffirm their commitment to supporting the nursing and midwifery. A reminder that our theme for this year, ladies and gentlemen, is nursing and midwifery around the world, and investment to attain universal health coverage and the sustainable development goals. And this is well reflected in the number of partners that we have in here, showing the interest and the commitment to invest in nurses and midwives in Malawi. So those are some of the partners that are taking their ample time to drive this agenda forward. The government of Malawi, the Ministry of Health, is currently making sure that we leave no one behind, no man behind, no one should be left behind. And that's the goal of the universal health coverage. You want to make sure that everyone is on board. Those who are rich, those who are poor, the young, the old, the middle-aged. We want to make sure that everyone is on board. When it comes to accessing healthcare, there shouldn't be barriers. One of the key barriers is a shortage of staff. One of the key issues that can hinder delivery of the UHC is shortage of nurses and midwives. And so that's why we have this scheme this year. That when we invest in nurses and midwives, we are well assured we are addressing one strong pillar for driving the universal health coverage agenda. And so I see the nurses, midwives in here have a lot of partners. One of the partners they have is YOGAS. YOGAS is an organization that is into energy. Their main focus is making sure they provide a lot of alternatives to the energy sector, especially so PD. So we know nurses and midwives. I'm a pig and Chido. We need to stabilize our equipment for us to provide service delivery, and that's why we also have our colleagues in the energy sector present in here. So they are coming in just to make sure that they emphasize and affirm the fact that we cannot do without energy. We cannot do without energy. So in health centers, center hospitals, district hospitals, even in our training colleges, in our labs, we need to make sure that we have alternative sources of energy just to make sure we are trained or we are drilled on the ideals of stabilization and the rest of the approaches that we do in our profession. So the guest of honor is having a brief from YOGAS. YOGAS, as I said, their main focus is the energy sector. Let me also call on nurses, midwives in here. They have gas burners that we can use at home for cooking. It's a very big alternative, a very good alternative nowadays. And we can, after campaigning, after winning, if the aspirants can just campaign to provide all of us one gas burner. We're not asking for big ones, yeah? We are asking for the small ones. At least they are saying, you'll see how we're going to vote for you. Just try us.
George, just to add to say, YOGAS is a partnership with NOM, so that we can actually assess their commodities in installments as nurses and midwives. We know that one of the factors for universal health coverage is speed and time. So at least when you use gas, it's faster than electricity and charcoal. So you are able to go to work in time and you're able to do what they want to do in time. So let's make it a point after the program that we go on that pavilion and get more information on how we can access it. As long as we are non-members, we have the privilege because there's already a signed agreement between YOGAS and NOM.
Excellent. And of course, that doesn't take away the fact that we need small ones. Also, this is at least one per district. You know, we're doing a local here and we know who is here. So at least one per district. We'll see what we do in the districts. Just give us one per district. Next thing we do around the world, ladies and gentlemen, is a pillar in terms of attainment of sustainable development goals. WHO has emphasized in collaboration with the International Council of Nurses, the International Confederation of Midwives, ICM, that we need to invest in nursing and midwifery. It is no longer an option, it is no longer an alternative. It is a must for every government, for every country to invest in nursing and midwifery, because nursing and midwifery workforce is the backbone of a healthcare system in every country, including Malawi. And so the sustainable development goal targets that we have for 2030, we have a lot of targets. Some of them are very ambitious, some of them are just ambitious, some of them are not even ambitious, are attainable. But the idea is for all those SDG targets, reduction of maternal mortality from 439 in Malawi per 100,000 deliveries to somewhere around 100 and something, it's not easy. So we want to make sure that we have a workforce that is really well taken care of. So investment of governments in nursing and midwifery comes in different forms, ladies and gentlemen. We can have an investment in recruitment, we can have an investment in capacity development or capacity building. That's why we have a lot of partners, we have a lot of organizations in here. Some of them are there to make sure that our skills are up to date. So we partner with some of this just to make sure that they provide that technical support to remind or give us the new updates in the field. We have partners that are there just to make sure that they are supporting the training institutions. That's investment in human resource, investment in nursing and midwifery. We have that assurance in the fact that the minister is here. It tells you government is putting nurses and midwives high on the agenda. And that's why we have this special day dedicated. We are honored to have a red carpet in our midst, courtesy of the Minister of Health, Honorable KHUMBIZE KANDODO CHIPONDA MP, who is here to provide that assurance to you and me, to us today. So she's on the next pavilion, which is a pavilion on mutual pensions.
And bonds.
Oh, pensions and bonds. Yeah, so we want to make sure that when we retire, we have a landing fee, something that can help you after saving for 20, 15 years. Something that can help you to settle down pretty well and retire peacefully. So it's not only the retirement package, sometimes they can also go into the points that my colleague was talking about. Next, we are on the Hatch Pavilion.
So Hatch Technologies, these ones are dealing mostly with neonates. So they do provide what we all know as CPAP machines, and they're also there to provide phototherapy machines, so that all in all we are able to reduce our mortality rates in our neonates. So at the end of this, can you please make a point to learn? I know not all of us are already in the nursery, but we can make it a point to learn what exactly they're doing. They have also modified the CPAP machines. We know that the ones which came earlier are not the ones we're using now. There have been a bit of modifications, all these just to make sure that we are able to save the lives of our neonates. There will also be a presentation from them during the program, so that we learn more about our friends from the Hatch Technologies.
And indeed, Hatch Technologies, ladies and gentlemen, is an NGO. This NGO started in the USA, and its headquarters is in Kenya. The headquarters is in Kenya, not in Maybe we'll be getting it from Kenya. But the headquarters is in Kenya. The cause for establishing this NGO is just to make sure that we have technology that is acceptable, easy to use, and affordable for countries, and so they help in supplying such technologies, as Gloria has alluded. We have this NGO functioning in Malawi, in Kenya. Their focus is mostly sub-Saharan Africa. So they're in Kenya, they're in Malawi, they are also in Tanzania, and they are also in Nigeria. And they are really interested. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all stand and welcome our Thank you so much. You're welcome. We welcome our guest of honor, the Minister of Health, giving a handshake to fellow nurses and midwives. Thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you so much, our guest of honor, and welcome to this beautiful function. What you see in front of you are beautiful faces of nurses and midwives. Ever smiling faces. Let's just give our minister a smile. Sometimes she gets a lot of negative reports about nurses. Let's just stand and smile at her. We want her to take a different picture. Let's stand and just give her a smile. Thank you so much. You can take your seats. Dr. Charles Mansambo already knows that nurses and midwives in Malawi are very beautiful angels. So I don't need to. And for information, Dr. Charles Mansambo is an associate nurse midwife. So he is one of us. I will tell you, in the system, we are appreciating how leaders like you who are so passionate about nursing and midwifery, even if they are not nurses and midwives. So thank you so much, our guests of honor and the whole intervention. Viva non viva! Viva! So we are the national organization of nurses and midwives function, and this is how we do it. And we celebrate our work by shouting Viva. So you will hear Viva here and there. Don't worry, just bear with us. That's just us trying to be nurses and midwives. Viva non viva! Viva! I want us to show the minister that this is not just KCH. She thinks because we are KCN, then all these nurses are coming from KCH. No, that's not the case. This is Malawi. This is Malawi present. And so we'll start with the North. Viva non viva! Viva! That's how we do it in the North. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Central Region. Viva non viva! Viva! So viva kama tunataka wajije wajue. No mwake saka swapa tilaba mtumeka you mutogoro. No you. Yeah, that's Central Region. Great. We get to the South, and the South is represented by our colleagues in the lower shire. Vivamo Luno, vivamo! Vivamo! Thank you so much. The guest of honor, Minister of Health, Honorable KHUMBIZE KANDODO CHIPONDA, MP, Director of Administration, in the Minister of Health, Mr. Shankwanan, and I think that has to be Secretary for Health. Yeah, Secretary for Health. Yes, Secretary for Health, Dr. Charles Mansambo, present here. The Deputy Director of Nursing and Midwifery Services in Malawi, Mrs. Lucy Kubura, and all the directors and the Minister of Health and Education present. The sitting non-president, Mr. Charles Galangande Simeza, and all National Executive Council present. the Association of Malawi Midwives President, Mr. Keith Kubibato, President and the Secretary General from other health associations and unions present, the Malawi Congress of Trade Union leadership present, the President and the Secretary General, college principals present here, the deputy directors from central hospitals and all district nursing and medical officers present, hospital matrons from CHAM facilities, and all nursing and midwifery leaders present here, from NGOs, various key players. The registrar, the Nursing and Midwives Council of Malawi, present, Mrs. Judith Jilembo. The representative of Hatch Technologies, Ms. Damaris Wanjiko, Mr. Fripp also present. Representatives of our development partners, the Norwegian Nurses Organization, the RHL International in particular, all stakeholders, partners including Old Mutual, Yogas, Mazim, Smile Life, and all other partners present, nurses and midwives from all districts and all walks of life, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to this function today. The Biennial General Assembly for Nurses and Midwives in Malawi, which is taking place on January the 5th and tomorrow the 6th of November 2022, here at the KAMUZU University of Health Sciences, Lilongwe Upper Campus. And we are celebrating, or we are convening under a theme, nursing and midwifery around the world, an investment to attain universal health coverage and sustainable development goals. As we continue with our program, I would want to ask the Executive Director of the National Organization of Nurses and Midwives, Mr. Peter Mvuma, to come and highlight the theme of this function. Mr. Mvuma.
Morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
We seem to be very, very quiet. All right. Viva no, viva!
Viva!
Let me just ask you quickly, just to stand. I want to hear your voice very, very well. Because at some point, you can advance it. So niambie so cha kumpoto vivara no vivara viva viva no viva viva vifambo no vifambo viva. All right, no, thank you so much. You can take a seat. The guest of honor, the Minister of Health, Honorable KHUMBIZE CHIPONDA, the Secretary to Health, Dr. Charles Masambo, here present, the Deputy Director of Nursing and Midwifery Services in Malawi, Mrs. Lucy Kutumula, and all the directors in the Ministry of Health, the President of NOM, Mr. Charles Karangandas Meza, Presidents and Secretary Generals for all our colleagues from the HRH Coalition, MCTU leadership, college principals, deputy directors of the central hospitals, and all the directors that are here with us this morning, all our leadership, the matrons, the in charge, the nurses that are here with us, the Registrar of the Nurses Council, Mrs. Judith Chilembo, the representative of Hash Technology, all the way from Kenya. They're here with us. I just wanted to see if they could just stand where they are so we can wave them. Yeah. They're coming all the way from Kenya to be here with us. Let's just clap hands for them. And Mama Umonda Manesi, Abuelade, Gebudia Zatarena. Yeah, please just come forward and have a seat here. If you can, please, Mr. Cliff, just come have a seat here. Representative of the development partners, that's from Norwegian Nurses Organization. They are not here with us, but they are in spirit, and there will be a time when they'll be making a presentation at some point. All stakeholders that are here with us, we have Yogas, Mazen, Nurses Council, Hash Technology, but also Allied Biomedical Engineering. All the nurses, the media houses that are here with us this morning, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say again, Viva, Viva, Viva. The guest of honor, my work this morning is very, very simple. I will not be making a speech. I know there are able people that will come and very eloquent as well to make a speech. My duty this morning is to introduce the theme that has called all of us to come all the way from Titipa to Msanje, all the way from Jinji to Rikoma, all the way from Kenya and elsewhere. Thus, nursing and midwifery around the world, an investment to attain universal healthcare coverage as well as sustainable development goals. Let me, before I continue, indicate that when they had sat down to actually think around what is it that we need as a world, or what we need as people, they thought that perhaps by 2030, we would have been able to get to somewhere. And I want to challenge you, I want to submit to you to indicate that today we are in 2022, and we perhaps just about actually should be around 7 years, not 8, because we're in 2023 in the next few days or so. So before I go any further, I want you to have that picture within yourself. And then you have to look around and do an analysis, or a critical analysis, I should mention, and then look at when we were saying that we're going to attain this by this particular time, what are the strides that we have made? So that one is going to you as an individual, to the leaders within the ministry, and different players within the same. It's a question I want to pose to you. Are we there? If we talk about investment in nursing, investment in healthcare delivery system, are we there? Are we getting there? Because I remember in 2021, when COVID came in, at least that was a good lesson for all of us. We noted how dire and desperate we were during that time when we needed to access different types of healthcare services, particularly the talk of isolation and the like. I remember that time I lost 2 of my bosses. That was just about 6 days apart. It was a very, very dire moment for almost everyone, including one of the directors who was also a doctor. So all of us were just crying. You could see someone dying right within your eyes. So what I'm trying to say is, what have we learned from that particular lesson? Are we learning anything? Or we are yet still proceeding with business as usual? In as far as investment in different aspects of healthcare is concerned. Now, drawing our attention particularly to the universal healthcare package or universal healthcare coverage. This is healthcare coverage that is supposed to be for everyone, everywhere. Not just for the elites in town, not just for those that are within at least the ED for now, not just those that are the president for some organization. When we're talking about universal healthcare coverage, we're talking about a holistic approach towards delivery of healthcare to everyone, everywhere, even kuja kumbagajanda kuja in the north. Itikabida kumolele kutava kuchobo. So we need to think about what is it that we are doing about that particular person who is right there. And now within that, what health organization is saying, we have about 27 million men and women that are nurses. Now out of these, they make about 50% or more of the workforce within the healthcare system. So what it means, you have this background of healthcare workforce, you have these people that are there to support the attainment of that particular goal. Now I want to ask with you in that sense, the minister, I want to ask our stakeholders that are here, what are we doing about this backbone of the healthcare delivery system? What are we doing about this heartbeat or the brain, the blood, the pump and everything about this healthcare system? Because what the health organization is saying, by 2030, we are running into a risk where we have a shortage of about 9 million nurses or more. But are we there in as far as the training of the nurses is concerned? Are we there in as far as the recruitment and retention of nurses is concerned? Just some few months ago or so, we're battering, no, we'll send nurses out, we'll do this and that. Why are we looking into that? It's because systems have not been able to recruit, retain, and motivate the nurses. We have not been able to make sure that we are able to invest. But the danger is, we are talking of about 50% of the healthcare system. And if we don't invest in that, the heart stops pumping. And if the heart stops pumping, the brain will suffer. And if the brain suffers, you know what will happen thereafter. All right, thank you so much. That's what I had. I have a good one. Keep on going.
Is a preacher, and I was already worried. You know what I was remembering? According to 1 Corinthians, I was like, oh my. Thank you so much. That's Executive Director for the National Organization of Nurses Midwives. Is Mr. Peter. When he's saying this appeal to you, colleagues, government is here. The ministry is here. Okay? I'm saying this on a very serious note. The whole ministry is here. So let's cry out loud as much as we can. We are going to have speeches, we are going to have government is here, the parent is here. Do we want to discuss? Do we want more recruitment of more necessary wives? They are here. No college. Do you want scholarships? They are here. They are here. Promotions? Yes! They are here. Actually, I'll tell you who promotes all of us. Thank you so much. But otherwise, the emphasis here is let's invest in nursing and midwifery. Invest in nurses and midwives so that it's a commitment that nurses are making. Invest in us, try us, and we'll see if we are going to be able to achieve the investment coverage. The sustainable development goals
All right, thank you, George. Just wanted to say I'm so proud of you, Peter. As your leader, I'm so proud. So proud. Yeah. Can we all rise up as we are going to do our professional and union ethos? Honor the minister and Opera was observed. We already did our prayer and our preach. but now we want to do our song as we also concurrently do our candle lighting ceremony. Today, as we light those candles, we light them with the hope in our hearts that our colleagues who have went before us did their shift and it ended, and will improve and continue working until ours ends as well. We want to honor our colleagues who sacrificed so much on the front line so that the patients' lives could be saved. The executive director already highlighted how we were so hit by COVID. We've also been hit by a couple of accidents and everything. So as we light our candles, that's our candle of hope as we light it today. So let's light each other's candles as we ask our colleagues from KCH to lead us into the nurses' song.
And so, Honorable Minister, all protocols observed. One of the key symbols in the nursing and midwifery profession is a candle. We do this because we trust as a profession we are the light. Whilst we're doing this, we are reaffirming or recommitting ourselves to be the light even in the service that will be provided. And we would want to also, as Gloria mentioned, remember our friends who passed on in the battlefield. COVID-19 in the past 2 or 3 years has robbed us big time of a lot of nurses and midwives. This year alone, we have lost a lot of nurses and midwives. And we are also doing this in solidarity with our friends who are on the bedside as we speak. Some are in the cholera camps, and some are even in the COVID centers, in the wards, in the labor ward, in the health centers. So we are going to take the song and will be led by KCH representation. Thank you.
The next song. The Holy Spirit must come down. The nurses must be saved. The Holy Spirit must come down. The nurses must be saved. The nurses must be saved.
whilst we're still standing, I would want us to observe the 1 minute silence in honor of the late director of nursing in midwifery Malawi, Madam Charity Kazawala, who passed on earlier this year. May her beautiful soul continue to rest in peace.
Amen.
Thank you so much. We can sit down. We can take our seats. The solidarity song. No, thank you. Solidarity song. So, I guess the honor will also going to take us solidarity song.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us one. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us one.
Because obviously it's a good one. Siko mugombi anezi kumaso azamba nonse abelemagwera zimugwerezaso kunena kuti tilindi manezi kumaso azamba kuchokera makoma ose a dziko lino kuyambira kuchitiko kafika ku Nsanje kotakonda ku Mchinji. Mutu wathu wa chaka chino monga anena kale ndi nursing and midwifery around the world, an investment to attain the universal health coverage and sustainable development goals. I guess we're gonna, in pursuant to this, we as an organization have made a lot of partnerships. That's why you see a lot of partners present here. We would want to showcase one of the partners, who is Hatch. And Hatch is an organization, an NGO, which was briefly started in the USA. When it was started in the USA, it was started with an aim of making sure that it reaches out to countries in the sub-Saharan Africa, in the sub-Saharan region, with affordable technology that can help to reduce neonatal mortalities. And so their main area of focus is the newborn care aspect. They settled in Kenya, and they have headquarters in Kenya. But not just that, they also have extended to countries like Nigeria, Tanzania, and Malawi. Further to that, they distribute their newborn care technologies through distributors. A guest of honor, it is my singular pleasure to welcome on the podium representative from the Hatch Technology to give us a brief of what Hatch is all about and why they think it's so necessary to partner with nurses and midwives of Malawi. Welcome, Mr. Oku.
to the CS, Minister of Health, the PS, Director of Education, non-leadership, and the members, all who are present. Good morning. My name is Cliff Oso, as it has been said. I'm the sales manager for Arch Technologies, and you can see our booth over there. I just want us to, I prepared the PPT. I don't know if everybody will be able to see it, but it will be good that we get to understand what Arch is doing and why we are here today. Honorable guests, it's good to mention that over 1 million newborn babies die in sub-Saharan Africa because of lack of technology. And this prompted Hajj to come up with a way to curb this, to reduce the neonatal mortality. As it has been said, in Tanzania, in Kenya, the headquarters, we're in Nigeria, and we're in Malawi. It is also good to mention that in Malawi, we have also partnered with NEST as a program. NEST is donating these technologies to public facilities. And I want to confirm that here in Malawi, we have 38 facilities that we have donated devices and they are running. We do empowerment, we do training, and we make sure that the devices are running at all times. All this we are doing to make sure that the newborns survive to be leaders tomorrow. I just want us to just go through the PPT and just take you through Hajj. We realized that over 40% of equipment ends up in equipment graveyards, and I think most of you here work with the public facilities will confirm that they have a lot of devices at some corner which they cannot use any longer. Because of this, Hajj came in. Now, Hajj came in to make sure that as a global distributor, to make sure that we appoint distributors in every country, and we give them a task of making sure that they install the devices for the facilities. They train the nurses and the engineers who are going to use the facilities, and also we track the device. I think this is one part that we really need to understand. We want to know whether we are headquartered there in Kenya, all the countries where we have installed our devices. We know the serial number, we know whether they are running or not, because we work with the biometrics to make sure that they check if there's any case that a device is not working, then they log into a system and they enter that issue, and we make sure that we respond to that within 24 hours. This is to reduce the equipment graveyard. Next. Now, we also realize that there's mismatch in the technologies that the facilities are receiving. You get what you really didn't want. What you requested is not what you get. So we came up with a way of the criteria of selecting high quality but affordable technologies to these facilities. Something that you can afford, but it will do what it is intended for. So we want to avoid the mismatch of the technologies. This miscommunication when logistics is done, and this also we came in to make sure that we track the devices from when they are being manufactured to when they are shipped, when they are received in the warehouses, and then when they are installed. And we go further and make sure that if the device lifespan has expired or it cannot be used any longer, we retire them. So we follow all that through and make sure that only the devices that are needed in the facilities are there. Next. Next. I think most of that I've briefed, so I just want to go fast. Just next again. Yeah, so Hatch, like I've said, now acts like a global distributor, and we appoint the distributors in every country. Actually, this was phase 1. We are going to phase 2, where we are targeting more than 10 countries in sub-Saharan Africa to make sure that these technologies, they are not left out. They get them, and we also make sure that we train them and they get to know how we operate. Next. Yeah, so I've just put a list of our distributors in the 4 countries. As you can see, in Nigeria, we're working with a distributor called JNCI, the whole of Nigeria. And then in Tanzania, we have a distributor called Anuda. In Kenya, we have 2 distributors, one for public, one for private. So we have PT Healthcare and MedGlobe. In Malawi, we have Elite Biomedical Engineering. Their representative is there with us at the booth. Next. So the way we select the devices or the technologies, we go through 5 steps. The first step, and if we work with the NEST, the program, and UNICEF. So it's not something that we just come up with on our own. So after identifying the devices that are needed in the facilities, then we check the target product profiles, and then we take them through environmental testing, technical testing to make sure these devices are fit to be used. After that, then we qualify them. After the qualification, then we can now supply them to the facilities. Next. There just shows a list of qualified technologies that we have as at now. We have a number of them. We have phototherapy devices, we have warmers, we have bilirubinometers, we have HP meters, we have pulse oximeters, all these devices that are needed in the newborn, and to make sure that they are fit. Next. And there is just some of our banners. Next. Some of our devices, you can see them over there. We have the glucometers, the bubble strip pumps, liters, syringe pumps. We have concentrators, we have infant warmers, suction machine, and many more. Next slide. And then I just want to highlight one of the 3 technologies that we have came with this latest. We have come up with a point-of-care bilirubinometer. We realize that the nurses are getting very difficult to test the jaundice level, the bilirubin level at the nursing station. So we realize that it's something that it's very important. I'll just go on because I am all that. We realize that it's very important to just come up with a point-of-care device, just handheld, that you can use. Once the baby is born, we screen the baby and make sure that the bilirubin levels are okay. If not okay, then we take the baby to a phototherapy for treatment. This is because at the facilities, the labs are very busy. If you take a sample, you have to wait for like 3, 4 hours, or even 2 days. It depends with the facility you're working in. So this will really help the nurses to just screen very fast and take the baby for treatment before it's late. The second device that we came about with is ATTAIN monitoring. ATTAIN monitoring is a device that we attach in the devices to make sure that the device is working at all times. We will know when there was power outage in that facility for how long and the effect of that power outage. We will know whether the machine is used or not. We will know whether the machine is moved to another department or it's just in the right place. That is the second, and I just want to mention that we have now a very good device, also point of care. We call it light meter. But now this one doesn't only measure the irritants. Lightning star is used to measure the irritants of the phototherapy. Many a times we put the baby under phototherapy, but we don't know whether the treatment is enough. So we measure the irritants using the light meters. So these technologies are for the facilities to use, and we really want to reduce the neonatal mortality in Sub-Saharan Africa. And I want to thank you very much for having such a gathering to just discuss about the health issues of the babies and even ourselves. So I want to thank you very much, Norm, the leadership, and our guests. Thank you for coming, for honoring the invitation. And I'm very happy to see such a number of people coming just together to make sure that we achieve. Nchito ya Bwina, Norm. We will make it. We will make it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Also, to Hatch as well. And thank you so much for the investment and support that you are providing to Malawi. We don't take that for granted, and then for the partnership that you have with the organization, Nurses and Midwives.
All right. Let's give another clap for Hatch Technology. Yes, that's thumbs up. Yeah. So we want to proceed with our program. Our guest of honor and all is available. We're proceeding. We want to hear from our sister organization, the Norwegian Nurses Organization, that we have been in a collaboration partnership for such a long time, with them even helping us source funding from Norway to fund some of our projects. So, the message. So, after we see the message, we'll come here again. Thank you.
Members of NOMM, nurses, midwives, partners, colleagues. Thank you for inviting the Norwegian Nurses Organization to your General Assembly. Please do accept our apologies for not being able to comment about this important event. However, I'm still very pleased to be able to address the assembly, even though we had to be through period this time. My name is Yeli Sarasvati, and I am the president of the Norwegian Nurses Organization, NFNO. I'm proud to say that our organization has collaborated with you for more than 15 years now. Since the beginning of our collaboration in 2006, NOMM has grown tremendously, not only in numbers of members, but also in terms of experiences. Today, NOMM is an organization that is working tirelessly for its members, for patients, and for the people of Malawi. Needless to say, health is an end result in itself, but health is also an investment, not an expense. A healthy population is also a productive population, and a healthy population lowers the need for and the spending on curative care. Government investment in health has a strong multiplier effect throughout the economy, in addition to enhancing the population's well-being. And as we all know, nurses and midwives are the backbone of any health system in Norway, in Malawi, and everywhere. And if you don't address the critical shortage of nurses and midwives, you won't be able to manage neither current nor emerging health needs. And this became very clear during the COVID-19 pandemic, which is still ongoing. Nurses and midwives need quality education, proper training, and only when they have the adequate qualification as well as decent work conditions, they can deliver the quality of care to the population. One of NOMM's strongest qualities is the unparalleled expertise when it comes to all of the other. How nurses should be trained, how nurse leaders should be nurtured, how patient safety is ensured, and how future policy is made. with a seat at the table where decisions are made, MLMM can contribute to a stronger health systems for all Bulgarians. And in addition, your organization's hard work is important for achieving the UN Sustainable Development Goals. MLMM can assist the government of Malawi in resolving critical issues and responding to the needs to meet goals, specifically on health, gender, equality, decent work, and economic growth. In Norwegian Nurses Organization, our slogan is clear, brave, and proud. We want to be clear in our message about our patients and members' needs. We want to be brave in standing for what we know is right. And most importantly, we are proud of being nurses and midwives. As your partner organization, I can assure you that our members are proud of collaborating with MLMM. Now, please extend greetings on behalf of MLO's 128,000 members to all of your members. We are all nurses and midwives, and we are all wanting the best for each other and for our patients. I want to wish you all the best of luck with your assembly, and we are looking forward to continuing collaborating with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we honorable Minister of Health, we believe in partnerships, we believe in sisterhood, and this is just an example of what we can do within that. And so we are going to proceed with our program. Let me in a special way reintroduce President of NOM, National Organization of Nurses and Midwives in Malawi. Your Excellency, Mr. Shouts, we have, you're sitting next to Your Excellency. The guest of honor, I was just saying you are seated next to the Excellency. So this is how we do it in the profession. We have our own president, we have our own cabinet, you know, so we also have our own ministers of finance, minister of administration. We are very organized as a profession, very organized. And so all this assembly that you see in Malawi and all the nurses and midwives in Malawi are currently led by what we call a president for this organization. And he happens to be none other than Shouts Galanganda Simeza. He's the one behind all this organization. All the organization you see is the one who has brought us this far. And well, I am told, so I didn't know. I am told we are going to be having elections tomorrow. I was about to ask the guest of honor to be the first to vote. I'm not trying to mention who she is going to vote for, but if she attends the campaign and you know she's a politician after all, and she'll be able to tell who she can vote for. Yeah, Shouts Meza has a middle name called Galanganda, which we don't know what it means. I wanted to invite him in fact. Number one, he has to confess to all of us what Galanganda means. You know, sometimes people give themselves names without meaning, just for the sake of trying to see yourself as a professor in the near future, and then you want to sound more professorial. But we want, number one, you to tell us, what do you mean? What's Galanganda? And why Galanganda of all the things? Yeah, so you tell us that. We will not forgive you today, we'll make sure that we get hold of you. And we also want him in a special way to show to us the executive he's been waiting for or with in the past tenure. Their term expires tomorrow. As I speak, the Shouts you are sitting next to honorable guest of honor could be a former president, as he has been. He could be, and it depends on this PGM. They are here to decide. They have a decision in their hearts, and this is time to rate Shouts and his team what they've been able to do in the past years, and how far they've taken the organization. If people are satisfied, they are going to give him another chance to lead us. But I want you to show us also the executive that we're working with, and then later on we are going to ask that the high table helps us to reward or acknowledge the work that you've done in the past years. We believe in acknowledging what you've done, no matter how small it is. So let me welcome shouts Galanganda Simeza, the president, the sitting president of the National Organization of Nurses and Midwives. Welcome, sir. Thank you. Galanganda, first of all, and then you continue, perhaps.
Thank you so much, George. I really appreciate it. I will keep the explanation of the calendar for now, but we'll do it at a later time. So, our guest of honor, Honorable KHUMBIZE KANDODO CHIPONDA, MP, Minister of Health. Tikakala kuti takuita nani otaboya profess kwano kuzakambazana na mwino ali apapa nazina timachula katina kacha kakumbe. Director of Administration was not available. Secretary for Health, Dr. Mansambo, Acting Director of Nursing and Midwifery Services, Mrs. Udumora Registrar, Nursing and Midwifery Council, Mrs. Judith Chilembo. Amani President is not yet here, but we acknowledge he is coming. In fact, he was going to be here, I would have given him a slot at the end of my remark to share his experiences as well, to say hi. MCTU leadership, presidents of health-related associations and unions. I've seen Mr. Chomba, president for the Physicians Assistants Union of Malawi Power. Thank you so much for coming. I also acknowledge the text that I got from the president of the Society of Medical Doctors, Dr. Nichi, who is in London doing his studies, and is greeting all of you. Deputy directors, central hospitals, GNMOs, CHAM, nursing, midwifery managers and matrons, representatives of the health technologies, representatives of all development partners present here. MCTU is not here too. Nurses, midwives across the board, and all the leadership that we have. My colleagues, the National Executive Council, that has seen the organization moving up to this point in the past 4 years, and all protocol observed. Those of you that I haven't mentioned here, I will mention you anytime soon. So if you see on the program, I am meant to speak, to make a speech, but I don't have a speech with me. But I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I don't have a speech. So my task is to welcome you, Honorable Minister, and all the delegates present here. Also to thank you so much for finding time amidst your usual tight schedule. Parliament is meeting. Parliament is in session. This time you should have been in Parliament or doing other things. But you spared all that time to come and preside over this function. I feel as an organization, what we will set up Parliament now, if we are an organization, we do now. Come as we go at large. Nukumbukira 2018 November tinali somo muno kunali danduna titokoze kwa Secondly, George, our director of ceremonies, was asking me to introduce to you the team that I've been working with in the past 4 years. So they are here. I want to introduce them to the minister specifically because with you in the afternoon, when I'll be giving you the report for the past 4 years, I will still introduce them to you. So meanwhile, I'm introducing them to you, to the minister, for the minister to appreciate that when I was going to her office, when I was visiting the secretary, the secretary for health's office, I had people behind me. So I had the membership, I also had the board, the National Executive Council. So we have in the office of the president, we have 3 presidents. So I am the sitting president with my 2 deputies. So we have the first vice president, who is Mrs. Hannah Demamombe. She's working. Thank you so much, Hannah. Nzimaya mena matama ngesalisi kara wansi la mena jenaka. Mapanga pina, ya mapanga pina. Ziko mapambili. We have the second vice president, Mr. Osman Assam. We have here. So, Mrs. Hannah Demamombe works with the Malawi Blood Transfusion Services based in Mizozo. Mr. Assam is working with the Medicine Sans Frontières. I don't know how to pronounce it anyway. It's based in Plantain. And then we have the Nsugi Chuma organization here. George was talking about Minister of Finance, what, yeah. So we have thank you so much. So she's Mrs. Tawile Boko. Mrs. Tawile Boko works with the Reserve Bank of Malawi. And she was being deputized by Mrs. Tuwepo Mwita. Mrs. Tuwepo Mwita, the Vice National Treasurer. She works in the civil service at the Salima District Hospital. Currently, she is in school, government sent her to school, she's studying. Then we have the zones. In politics, they are called the regions. So we have the zones. In the northern zone, we have Ms. Fede Magawa. There she is, the woman who ran across the north of Patakurikoma. Thank you so much. And she's a lecturer at Chiponda College of Web Sciences. And Central East we have Mr. Alfeo Chiwa. Mr. Alfeo Chiwa is also in the civil service, working at Kasongo District Hospital. Central West, we have Mr. Achimwemwe Ziaya. Mr. Achimwemwe Ziaya works at the Koma Mission Hospital in Cham. Southwest, we have Mr. Duncan Paisana. The last 2026 we really appreciate Duncan for your commitment to the organization. So Mr. Kwaitana is a lecturer in the at KHUMBIZE College of Medicine. And then southeast, we have Ms. Memory Pongwe. So Ms. Memory Pongwe works in civil service at Machinga District Hospital. Yeah. She runs the campaign director here. So this is the No, your leaders, eh? Because it is zero. Mafora homosomo jam. Thank you so much. And because NOM is also partnering with other stakeholders locally, so locally we have colleagues in the HRH coalition. That's why now we have Mr. Achomba in Milan. Kamazi mutino zipangizo mzipatala muzikuchepa tikube ngati coalition anzatu sote makhala nyao. Malawi Congress of Trade Unions not here, and all the partners that are there. So guest of honor, that was about introducing my colleagues in here. And then I mentioned I don't have a speech, but just a few areas that I also needed to bring to your attention, but also to the attention of delegates here. NOM as an organization, we are non-partisan, we are non-governmental, we are apolitical, and our role and our mandate is to speak on behalf of nurses and midwives. Our role and our mandate is to speak for the nursing and midwifery profession. Therefore, we are the mouthpiece. Pamene Square, we push on. Pamene Zakota, where our members are afflicted, we don't hesitate. We are sensitive and alert. We run up until we get what we want. If we don't get it, we push on, and we push on up until we get it. I am excited that look what our executive director, the way was pointing out things here. Mamupapa, Mashini, Katundu, Muziki. You know, we are all at pains as nurses and midwives, and we just need to do the right things rightly. So the combination that we have, executive director, as powerful as he is, knowledgeable in terms of articulating issues, and then with God, is blessed, And do not so that is it, and on a special note, then let me introduce him because he's only 4 months old in the organization. So last year when we were here, we came specifically to review our constitution. And in the process of reviewing our constitution, because previously, Chikamapanga advocate, Yofuna executive director, if I am not city Mafuna Panga applied. The Chikaka postponed. So no say no, Kopanga review, you said, okay, fine. Chikapudisita, why don't we have even those that have the capacity to become executive directors and then support the organization? Munapanga endorse Mulikuno. Tukumbubira, Kumano Peter, Atawana Zimena said, no, in our sacrifice my chido, then let's see where Kukuloa executive director with that Panga Papa in as much as constitution in a Panga no the alias of Panga. Chetu Togo. Kumaso kuitoa siku na bese. Bichatu chongo ichichi, tateka so mtu nikia kwa mbili katamenya. As powerful as it is. Tatoko ndo kampina hii kwa Honorable Minister, the gathering here is very different from the Nurses' Day celebrations. This year, Tumani Moti, Ukasia, when you presided over the day of the midwife, the midwifery day, the National Midwifery Day, you were our best of one. You were there. So those gatherings are slightly different from this. This is a political congregation. And because it is a political congregation, it is a time when we reflect. For the past 4 years, so in the convention, we review our constitution, we reflect in terms of professionalism. How have we supported the Malawians out there as nurses and midwives? And us as a union, how have we supported our colleagues in the profession? Issues of professionalism, there is a slot somewhere Nurses Council is going to share that. So we also have that opportunity to recall our attitude and our conduct in the past 4 years. And also to share, just of honor, the structures of the organization. It is important that we all know, so that we also appreciate that we define who does what when. Suffice to mention that NOM is well organized and well structured and has membership across the board up to the health center level. So we have the General Assembly, and the General Assembly is this gathered here. It is facilitated by the president, like the director of ceremonies mentioned, but this is the highest structure of the organization. It determines the organization's future. The second structure, guest of honor, is the NEC. That's why I was introducing them. The NEC oversees the policy implementation of the organization. The NEC also champions the checks and balances of government and other stakeholders. And then the other structure is secretariat, which is headed by our executive director at the headquarters. We have members of staff as employees. We have our land, we have assets, and we have projects. For this meeting, guest of honor, it has already been mentioned about the theme. So ED, what he might not have mentioned at the end is that when we're talking of universal coverage, investing in nursing and midwifery, there are three things, Honorable Minister, that I want to mention, that if we don't invest in nursing and midwifery, Malawi is not going to achieve universal coverage. WHO, when they are looking at universal coverage, they have three pillars. So the first pillar is access to health. Ladies and gentlemen, nurses present here, let us be proud that there is no access to health without us. For sure, let's agree. If we don't invest in nurses, we are not going to achieve universal coverage. The second pillar of universal coverage is quality. Health for all, but it should be quality health for all. There is no quality without nurses. And I mentioned this, I remember very well, in 2020, when the head of state presided over the year of the nurse and the midwife. I mentioned this. Quality will not be there without nurses and midwives. The last pillar is access, not access, the affordability or cost. So if we invest in nursing and midwifery, all these things will be achieved. If we don't, 7 years, ATTAIN will go and notice, and then Malawi will be on the other side, having achieved little or no health packages that are meant for everybody at all. Guest of honor, fast forward. Let's look at the relevance of this organization in the past 4 years. NOM has two hats. NOM has a professional body hat. NOM has a trade union hat. Two hats. So it takes somebody to understand these hats and then define when we have issues that are affecting nurses and midwives, their concerns. Defining them. Are they professional? Are they socioeconomic? Not all issues will be presented the way they are supposed to be presented. So it's about finding our hats and then approaching authorities, depending on the nature of the issue. So we have remained relevant in the past since 1979 when the organization was instituted, but I will be particular for the past 4 years how relevant we have been. So I'll start with one, relevance to membership. Ladies and gentlemen, using both hats, I am proud to indicate to all of you, my colleagues, membership present here, that there is nothing, completely nothing, that affects you and me in the provision of service, that inflicts on you and me in the provision of service, that has not reached the ears, the desks of our authorities. I want to repeat this. There is completely nothing. Chini chonse chimene chimatipanga kuti chilepere kugwira kuno chino chachi. Tinanga chipereka. Mumakutu komanso pa matebulo atsogolerera. You mentioned anything. She's going, I suppose, to say no if I'm lying. But she's here, she's going to attest if I'm correct. So issues of shortages, issues of unemployment, issues of uniform provision, issues of promotions that George was talking about here, issues of hot meals, COVID-19 fight, cholera medicines, lack of medical supplies and equipment, lack of accommodation for nurses and midwives in health facilities, lack of transport provision, health center in charges. Then I talk about health center. And now you know, they are being supervised by colleagues that may not be at their qualification level in the implementation of policies. Tinakasula kwa hawa, tinakasula kwa vice president, amena akapanga manifomu. Maudindo okuzani DHSS udetro. Mwafuna? George amanena liboma na bwera si. Directorship in sent to hospitals. Aye? Oh. Send more position. Deployment, tindima sehemu ya district panopa, tindima community health nurses panopa likupieta, nungunemuta. Zoma dichosa kwa payroll, tukapita kusukulu. Kuchebe salary kuchama, maka kutubu grant kwa mchama. Kudumi kwa the grant, kuipanga subject taxation. Lack of scholarships for needy students in training institutions. Now, those students are Africa makuto ayo, takapeleka kwenda ni ndani. Ndani ngapi this is a political gathering. George, director of ceremony, watifuza ditambashule. So we have used different fora and gatherings to bring this issue to the attention of authorities. I remember on 28 November 2020, we had the head of state. We presented these issues. On 12 May 2021, last year, at the International Nurses Day, we had the vice president. We presented these issues. At several times, we have engaged our honorable minister, KHUMBIZE. At several times, we have engaged Secretary for Health, Dr. Mansambo. Very friendly and very welcoming. Here he is. At many times, we have engaged district commissioners in their offices with these issues. We have done and we have run. Minus that, we are also relevant to the public. We have always been calling for availability of medicine suppliers and many more circular and press statements, just to make sure that we are relevant to the public. We have been calling for recruitment of additional nursing and midwifery workforce. We have also been training nurses and midwives in professionalism so that the public is safe. We have also been relevant to the Ministry of Health, providing constructive checks and balances, asking government to do the rightful things, including the recruitment process of nurses and midwives. We have contributed into the national budget for the Ministry of Health. Every year, NOM is part of MEDIN and other stakeholders in the process of framing the budget as the Ministry of Finance asks us. We have also been relevant to the nation. Our commitment to universal health coverage here is very meaningful and cannot be looked down upon. Our contribution to Malawi Vision 2063 is critical. Our contribution to governance and review processes of policies, especially the statutory cooperation. In here, Honorable Minister, I mean that we as NOM provide board members to our own nurses and midwives council. Now, as at now, I register for Momono. Board yao ya nurses council. If as no mutima sonka now na member lake. Mwina enda limo. Ela bwana usi. Walimu. Walimu board ya council mimi. Ndi Professor Morin Chimwa. Ndi Professor Makisham Tokozani Vumbwe. They are board members, as appointed by us, no. It's pride, isn't it? Thank you so much. And finally, on the relevance of the nation, We have pushed the government's agenda at any international conference that we've been engaged in. I'll give you an example, Honorable Minister. Last year, because you failed because of commitment that you had, you sent us Deputy Minister of Education, Honorable Kambaua, yes, she was here. I mentioned this, that when we joined government, like in 2019, I was amongst the delegates that went to Geneva, and the director of the delegates, leader of delegation was Dr. Mansamo. We had a side event, and I keep mentioning this because it depends me and it depends all nurses here. We had a side event where they were inaugurating Dr. Johnson Sharif, the former president of Biennial, who was appointed by WHO as a goodwill ambassador on human resources for health. In that room, in that conference, we had the International Labour Organization, we had IMF, we were together. We had ICN and a couple of colleagues. When we were asking the why ICN issued a restriction ban on recruitment, not ICN, IMF, the response didn't have to tell we don't know ya hotina nandira inali la kuti maiko ovutikisisa weti yao is too much. Wait to see the better than the one in detail. Wait to be your way. It's too much. So we argued. My mentor told me, meeting in yourself, we are great. Say something, whether sense or no sense, but say something. And what I said in that meeting was that I think we needed to have a consideration on the countries. That's why we had HIPIC. So I was tasked, it was me and my colleague from Zimbabwe. We were asked, when you go back to your countries, just check the wage bill and who is bloating the wage bill. Last time, when we came back, I get crushed. I went to my office and scrapped the bill. Now the wage bill. Zimbabwe is a wage bill in 2019. Komanda kuberegesera simapezeka kuno wage bill yati imakula not necessarily the civil service amene mukutama kukwera chita ya open wage bill yati imakula the costs dina nenda so last time and that's on the last one wage bill yati yukukula chikuwa cha costs wina tina ulwa so mnomba anali mfundisi na lecturer kumombela university kuli. Ena ndio basikungo fika mahali ya president kuweka kitana ndio sipaka benchi alibasana. Sana le moti yote kulemba ndo ma NMT8. Ndio nakibo that is zone. Tizipomelezi. Ife ndo kwanzeka anduna mwina kupanga likolo zinu bazimene zizi when you are engaging IMF. We may not be relevant anyway, but we can do it in some way. Having done that quickly, how we have done reaching out to Honorable Minister and others, we have mostly used the contact and dialogue and soft diplomacy, which is very, very critical. Not all things can be presented the way we want, I repeat that. So we've been engaging government and all machineries using contact and dialogue and soft diplomacy. So what has that given us then? So achievements. So risk allowance was reviewed, we all agree. We have a new risk allowance, correct? We have a new risk allowance. We have managed to push for functional review. We have Director of Risk and Military Services, Mr. Joseph Momono, at Kabanga Bear Witness, and a general and the Momono that you are doing functional review. Just to expand positions and the grades out there. Improve the relationship with partners, government, ministry, MCTU, HRH, but also these development partners. And because of that relationship, we have seen for the first time, for the first time, last year, tugomera ntima ila mumalowa apopo timatenga mapake sizinachitikie kwa kuzimenezo hata sikuchitika both for which our partners very well without intimidating them, so we really appreciate. We have managed to push for the relocation of CHAM payroll from CHAM to government. That one, I will leave it to Honorable Minister just to cement on how we've gone and how we've done it. And congratulations all of us. And we started this in April 2020 because of the question that came from one of our members who sat here. If I have a CHAM, so at CHAM, we have done it. We have done it. And we have been taught at our meeting Thursday, last week, 17 November, that salaries that December, they will be run by government. So issues of what means done, recruitment of some necessary individuals up to around 1,080, and the promotions from NO to SNO, SNO to PNO. Promoted You've been promoted during these 4 years, right? We've done it. Thank you so much. Also, during the 4 years, the first cohort ever for the upgrading of NMT to BSc, Abaga graduate from Zuzu University. But the money you learn, you graduates. You will learn for many more. Oh, you will now. Who said NMT cannot upgrade to RN within 3 years? Who said so? We've run and we've done it. And what is in the pipeline is the functional review which is continuing, the reforms, but also critical is the review of upkeep allowance and the local rates. We've already presented this issue to the minister. I suppose she's going to comment on that. Moyo wa futa. Moyo wa kumelelana. 80,000 is not enough. 3.5 is not enough, Honorable Minister. It's not enough. It's better our members stay home, but the problem is another bill. They are going to go for but transport to Mena Quella Baba, Mutavana 3,500, you also require transport. Did I show me validate? Anduna. Lastly, as I go sitting down, having presented all that I have presented, I am making the following appeals on behalf of all these nurses. So the first one, Honorable Minister, is that, of course, some are direct to your ministry, others we are requesting you to reach out to your counterpart ministers, as we've done before. So the first one is we would want to request the ministry to honestly and faithfully deploy our members, nurses and midwives here, to where they're supposed to be, depending on their orientation. I mentioned in passing, the community midwifery assistants are not supposed to be where they are. The registrar is here, this is close. They are trained to be at health posts, and then they go report at health center on the experiences happening to the communities. Same ways we are meant to replace traditional birth attendants. Traditional birth attendants are not at health center. So we are calling upon you. I remember the head of state when he was opening a session of budget, one of these sessions, he mentioned there will be 78 health posts. I suppose we are yet to hear that. I don't know, maybe my figures are incorrect. But we would want the CMS to go where the public needs their services. We have our colleagues who've done community health nursing, like I mentioned, and however, and yet they are supposed to be supervising community services out there. We want them, Honorable Minister, to go and work where they have a better qualification to support. When I present this, Director of Nursing and Midwifery says, shouts, you are right. We need to do the things together. Employment of nurses and midwives is marked with a lot of malpractices. Our recent meeting with the Secretary for Health, we flashed out the anomalies and the irregularities that are there when it comes to recruitment of health workers. Sometimes we fight with the Secretary for Health, and we've said each time, let us agree where we can agree. Let us disagree where we should disagree. Here, you can also attest. Issue of recruitment is not going on well. We need to review that, Honorable Minister. Number 2 is about jobs in diaspora. We as NOM we found jobs for our colleagues that are not employed. And Honorable Minister, the day I got this news when I was liaising with the State House, we talked over WhatsApp. You were outside Malawi. The only very critical that I still remember up to now was Mr. President, the now remote head of state, Ndamba, from Santiago and Rwanda. Sititenga and Rwanda. Sititenga and Rwanda. Mutirole. We presented this first to Ministry of Labor. They gave us their guidance, especially on the agent. Now we have booked appointments with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Homeland Security, and your ministry. So we will be engaging you because we want to move with this project. We can't have nurses midwives just roaming out there. Because I have found Kumarali. Sorry. The second one, internal nurses and midwives can't be fair. We have a concern that unemployed nurses and midwives are also renewing their licenses every year. We want to engage your ministry and the Comptroller of Central Corporations that there should be a waiver. And then they start paying immediately they are enrolled and recruited. Honorable Minister, Nurses and Midwives Council Act was reviewed. It has taken governments so long to release our act. It is outdated, and now we want to have a new one. We reviewed it collectively, those as any other act yoyo. It may not be directly on your office now, maybe it's not Sagari, but we are pushing and following up on this one. Another plea, Honorable Minister, which is very specific again to your ministry, is appointment, confirmation, and filling of designated positions. Up to now, at Capitol Hill, the position of Director of Nursing and Midwifery Services, I don't know, maybe Muna can see my own card, I'm sorry. But up to now, we still have an acting. Acting is good, but acting is not good because we feel limited in terms of making decisions. Most of the decisions that no, so, we have acting deputy directors, deputy hospital directors. I know KAMUZU Central Hospital, Mr. Amwira, up to now, but 7 years, still acting. Zomba Central Hospital, not filled. Command positions act. Safuna soba tabatenge wina wo the position act designated. We want to request the Honorable Minister to consider fast-tracking this. I know the system, but we know where to bring what. Compare propose affairs no, tukapanga chima pindira aliese. Tile so ndima director of health and social services. Amena kupanga active mpaka panopa. Frida Nsanje. Na also nataka kupanga qualify on merit, kwa person maudindo wao. Lastly, Honorable Minister, about membership to the union. Ichiji tukuza mara ziko, but I would want us, through you, Honorable Minister, to find a mechanism. Membership to NOM is voluntary. But we want to find a way that I think everybody should become a member. Yes. Because RES, I'm a benefit from our fight. So we may not necessarily be concentrating on the nursing and midwifery, but I think it should be a national issue. So that's why I wanted my Congress of Trade Unions, because it's a labor issue. And that to South Africa, I'm a banga with RES. I mean, I'm a chief. I have to do also. I'm a current member, one union in which is by law. If somebody does not want to be a member of any union, Amazon have a percentage. That's all they are. So damage they have affiliations. I mean, I'm a command. What's a song has said? Functional review will consider push for positions for NMT. I mean, I'm a community school. Once a menamalizina, a position no more NMT. If we don't do the functional reviews, then our ACTA translated, we want to fast track the functional reviews for the positions for these people. Promotions, we can't overemphasize on this one. Champion migration, we will comment on this one. But also HRS coalition inclusion into government negotiating team. Honorable Minister, I have a letter with me that was written to me as the chairperson of HRS coalition in 2021 on 21 April. The conclusion of that letter was that as a Human Resources Coalition, we would be having a space into the government negotiating team. And that one was 2021, the why we want to be there is that we find space to present our issues and negotiating with government. Painful enough, Tina Pangas in the Patoka, Orlando winner, Tita Baru government are going to 12% salary increment. That was too small for nurses. Maybe too big for everybody, but not for nurses. So we presented our concern only to be told that we Peter Kumara Congress of Trade Union about candidate. I said, am I mad that I can bring these issues to your attention? So we want to push. I have read what I brought it. So this was the chairperson of the Human Resources Coalition. Attention, Mr. Shouts Meza. This is the letter. Dated 21st April 2020. I will read the conclusion. As one way of promoting dialogue with the various health associations and unions, the ministry would explore the possibility of utilizing the government negotiating team, GNT, to assist in negotiating conditions of service for health workers. The NGT, which comprises the Office of the President and Cabinet, Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Ministry of Labor, Sports and Manpower Development, Department of Human Resource Management and Development, and Ministry of Finance, will have to co-opt the Ministry of Health, meaning the Ministry of Health, government negotiating team. That's why somebody can Zambia, treasurer, ministry. This would also require that many health associations and unions present their issues through your umbrella body to enhance contact and dialogue. So thanks and gratitude, government. Thank you so much for considering and pushing taking on board norm issues. And this year, for the first time, the government accepted norms attendance at the commemoration of KAMUZU Day. Tumena kandi amai Cecilia Kazamira Leno, who will passing maybe. So we thank you so much, Honorable Minister, that we have been chaka chinocho, tizikala nawa kama kubukira mambo wa KAMUZU. So ena kumafunza why. Taonaso pafora mwajabu. Tapakana matope pamene kati. Yai bomba panopo linatenga no mpanga nao za KAMUZU Day, ndia MCP no. Ai. Tukana ba. The why we requested the government that we should be part of the KAMUZU Day commemoration is that if it were not for KAMUZU Banda, nursing wouldn't have been where it is. And that many mangojoin profession here. I want to repeat that. If it were not for KAMUZU Banda, may his soul rest in peace, nursing wouldn't have been where it is. Kukachitika zangu ilizokuwa ndi manesi pale mbele. Akandola kakabena kama neno. Manesi mapasi the uniform, mapasi the sabato, stani, nursing inasuta kwa university level. Tukupa cha KAMUZU Banda. Yenuyo kupanda ngwazi KAMUZU Banda. Siku kanafika pale mliko. This is a togozi. We thank the government partners that have given us support, and for the sake of transparency, I want to mention the support that has come from the government partners. The Norwegian Nurses Organization, Amena Mayapra, they have supported this BGM with 4 million. The Hatch, represented by the marketing officer, all the way from Kenya, they have supported this BGM with 4 million. We really appreciate this support and gesture. And that's why you guys, I mean, I can go they have supported this function with 2 million. And that one I also took a video on Nago. They have supported this function with 500,000. Smile Life has supported us with 100,000. Because of another company that has given us 3 million. So the budget for this function, as the chair, I am releasing it to you for the sake of transparency, that it was 16,660,500 budget. All of that money has come from government partners. Ukara Bunamian, what we know, approach to things matters. And indeed, Ukama Belena, Mukati Togozelego, my directors also been up and release. My JHSS, my director of central hospitals, the Tario of February, America de Magarimo, to propose the Pandi. Mukati Togozele, to focus on resources from the lean ORTs that are there. To represent all of you members that you came and your us here. To the Lord be the glory, now and the time to come. Thank you so much for your attention. May God bless us. May God bless nurses and midwives. May God bless Nom. May God bless Malawi. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm tempted to mention. Viva shouts, Viva! All right.
nthawi ya ndale sinaende chibwana apa chautsa makondo kamba ndale nthawi ya ndale sinakwane pano. Good. But in a special way, I wanted to say we must be proud to have some characters in the profession. Whether you vote him again or not, that's none of my business, but we must begin to appreciate Shouts whilst he's in that. I've worked with Shouts in a number of spaces. We've also funded NOM in a lot of activities in the past 4 years. I wonder why he forgot to mention why we're on Alliance. But we've supported NOM, and I know the kind of effort that Shouts can put just to get things done. So he's that character that we need in the profession. And because of that, your honor, the guest of honor, we would want to proceed and appreciate the whole executive that has done this tremendous work in the past 4 years. The team that has been behind mobilization of resources, making sure they know which button to press. So when you move out to move now, let me be honest with you, it's not easy to mobilize money. And this I'm saying from a very honest perspective. It's not easy to mobilize money, especially for events of this nature. You really have to convince someone to see value of that event. And it's not easy. You need to be well connected with donors, partners. You need to have the backing above all of the ministry. And just mobilizing the ministry, government to be here is also a very special gift and a blessing. So thank you so much, Tim. We don't take your work for granted. I am reminded that we should, in a special way, also appreciate Old Mutual. Old Mutual, are you here with us? Old Mutual, are you here? Old Mutual has been a partner of nurses and midwives for the past 20, 30 years. And we cannot mention enough how grateful we are as nurses and midwives. I just wanted to give you a name just to say a word. These are the nurses and midwives that we keep supporting in the background. Face them, talk to them.
Viva Nomo, viva! Viva! Viva Nomo, viva! Viva! Thank you so much. Old Mutual and Nomo have been in a relationship for so long. And I just want to mention that we are always proud and we are always looking at you as high professionals. I want to mention two things. Number one, we had COVID. You know what happened to COVID? Everyone was inside their homes. If you try to go to someone, they'll say, put on a mask, but maybe let's just talk over the phone. But we are the only ones who are going where COVID patients were. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give ourselves a very big round of applause. Nurses, you are very important to the nation. I want to mention that in those moments when we had COVID, even the military, the police, everyone was in their homes. It was only you. We are going to where patients of COVID were gathered. You should be proud. This is a very profession. And what we were also there because we came and we gave you a cup. I think it was around 2 billion. And we were able to meet together to say, in any case, we will be there and we'll provide cover. It was a free cover, Minister, with the 2 billion. I want to also mention that we will be here, and next year we will support you because you are very important. I will not say much. We've been given time in the afternoon to talk about inclusive. I am sure we're going to have a good time. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you so much. I'm new to a partner in need. Is a partner indeed, and we so appreciate as nurses and midwives of Malawi for the support that you continue to render to us. I want to invite in front the secretary for MCTU. I saw you walking in. Please, there's a seat in front reserved for you. Let me also take pleasure in inviting President, Association of Malawi Midwives, Keith Ipato, to move to the front, the highway, and these are the characters we have in the profession. You have a seat. And also let me invite one of the veterans in the profession, nursing and midwifery, in Fleming's Fox in Kando. You also have a seat in country. Fleming's is a face for the north in the profession. I must say, one of the big characters for nursing and midwifery in the north is Fleming's in Kando. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The guest of honor, President has mentioned. President has mentioned a number of things, and one of the things that keep on coming is I've joked with the minister a couple of times somewhere that we need somebody members. Thank you so much. Just emphasizing, nursing and midwifery is a very beautiful profession. We learn almost everything, starting from administration, management, everything. So we can fit anywhere. You see, we have nurses from Reserve Bank. Yes, we can even go to Monday. Thank you so much. I would want to give 2 minutes to President, Association of Malawi Midwives, just to say hi to this gathering. He's traveled from Mulanje Mission, and he's here just to escort shouts to tomorrow's elections.
Viva Nomu!
Viva!
Viva Nomu!
Viva!
Viva Amani!
Viva!
Viva nurses!
Viva!
Viva midwives!
Viva!
The Honorable Minister and your team, a very good welcome to this gathering. As my colleague Charles has rightly said, we've worked very well with your ministry. You've actually attended each and every function that nurses and midwives have had. Honorable Minister, Charles did mention that we've agreed in so many things, and we've actually disputed so many things. Honorable Minister, just 2 weeks ago, we wrote His Excellency, and I had a very good conversation with the SH, and we had text conversation. Honorable Minister, we are glad to say that the situation at Guaila has improved. We really thank you for that. Our colleagues almost down tools. We are not there yet, but we really appreciate the efforts that have been taken, and will continue working together. We had also written the state president about fuel, how fuel affects us in the health sector. Honorable Minister, we're glad that I was able to fill my tank in Mulanje and there's fuel. Honorable Minister, in that letter, we also talked about water challenges facing our institutions. Please work with the relevant ministries to make sure that we have water. The issue of drugs, you're doing your best, but Honorable Minister, there's always room. Honorable Minister will agree where it is necessary and will also disagree as partners. Shams Galananda Mapupos Mesa, thank you very much for the good working relationship that is there between Amani and Nom. Dear nurses and midwives, you bear testimony that a few years ago, Nom and Amani were antagonists. They were enemies. Nom was pulling in this direction, Amani was pulling in the other direction. It is our hope that the new Nom executive will continue working amicably with the current Amami executive. Viva Namu! Viva! Viva Shouts Garanandas Meza!
We have so many politicians in the house. This is just one of them. Thank you so much. I want quickly, before we jump into the condition of our outgoing team, where they'll be maintaining or outgoing, but I pretty much somehow outgoing. I want to invite the legal counsel. We don't use the vacuum as necessary. Sometimes we have legal issues and whatnot. We would also show the fact that we are sometimes humans. We can make errors, and they are there to provide cover in terms of how best to provide the case or to present the cases. So legal counsel somewhere here. Yeah. So there's a seat reserved for you. There's a seat reserved for you in front, the legal counsel. Thank you so much. Great. So we have a list of the members that Shouts presented as executive that has worked tirelessly in the past 4 years, and we would want to appreciate them by giving them certificates of recognition. And I would want to take this pleasure next to midwives of inviting the Secretary for Health, Dr. Charles Mwansambo in front, and the guest of honor, Madam KHUMBIZE KANDODO CHIPONDA MP, who is the Minister of Health, to come in front and preside or present the certificates of recognition to the outgoing executive. For the aspiring ones, when you make it, you are going to have a pleasure of rubbing shoulders with ministers, and we want to encourage you to campaign even more today and tomorrow. So we have a list, and we are going to start
our Honorable Minister and our distinguished guests. Presenting the first certificate of recognition, we will go to Regina Makamba, who was the former executive director for NOM. She's unavailable, so she will be represented. So as she is receiving the certificate, for all those who are coming, may you start from there to my far right, and we shall finish to the far left, and we shall take a photo. And we ask you to keep time because we are racing against time. Thank you. All right. We have Benson Edison Peavy, who who was the former executive director for Norman's Work.
Paid in absentia, but I should mention he's one of those who have really done pretty much for the organization. Thank you. Who knows you're the next BP?
We have our beautiful mama, the lady who is always running up and down, Mommy Harriet Chiomba, the former
Harriet Chiomba has been in the organization for quite a long time. And when we had the vacancy, she said, oh no, do not feel the beat because I can feel it in the bones. She's the wheels for the organization. She can run. We just have the James, the Roses, and the Sanjay. That's Harriet.
We are so proud of you, Mama. Thank you for all that you've done for the organization. We have also the one leader for Southwest Zone, Duncan Kwaitana.
Duncan Kwaitana, ladies and gentlemen, one of the humble gentlemen and one of the bright brains in the organization. Duncan is very sharp. When you need technical expertise, when you need wisdom, these are the brains behind the whole executive. Thank you so much, Duncan.
We are so proud of
Great.
you. And
Thank you so much, Duncan.
May we have Memory Omri, who is the Southeast Zone Chair.
If I were to rate this executive, I would tell you Memory is the loudest of the four. The loudest in terms of the voice. I know Memory from very noisy backgrounds, and she maintains that, but she puts on that beautiful smile. And imagine with the minister, shoulder to shoulder. Thank you so much, Memory, for the service. We appreciate for serving ladies in leadership these past 4 years. We wish you well.
From the Central West Zone, we have the chair, KAMUZU.
Chimwemwe is really a guy who is happy, and he is one of those few who has really brought Chimwemwe to the organization. So we wish you good luck. Thank you so much for the commitment, the dedication. Thank you, they are so appreciative of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, have your hands.
From the Central West Zone, we have Alufeo Chiwa.
I would want to assume Alufeo is the only community next midwife in this executive, but there are two. Oh yeah, there are two. So Alufeo is one, I should say one of the best you can get, and he's in Kasulu. So you can take another picture because the honorable minister comes from Kasulu. Thank you so much, Alufeo, for that, and we move on.
All right, from the mighty north, we have Fabi Makawa.
The students from all training institutions know have machine. So when you are in the practical area, she doesn't care whether you're coming from KAMUZU University or you're coming from KCA. She will be there as a supervisor for the students. But over and above, she's coordinated the north pretty well. We so appreciate for your service. Thank you so much. Perfect. Thank you.
From the Treasury, we have the outgoing Vice Treasurer, Duebo Mwita.
Thank you so much. The organization needs resources. Resources meaning money, and money rather than in safe hands. I must guarantee to you, ladies and gentlemen, that the confidence donors are showing now is because our monies were in safe hands, and she happens to be on the team. Congratulations and thank you so much to Webo for the job well done.
Still from the Treasury, we have the Treasurer, Tawile Kaundo Boko.
Thank you so much. And She's done it the opposite way. I'm sure she's thinking of the next table. That's why she's confused about this. But yeah, thank you so much. So thank you so much for the service, Awile, and we wish you good luck. Great, thank you.
We have our own legal counsel, Counsel Mawia Suku.
You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. You give us confidence that we don't have. You know, sometimes when you make an error and people begin to condemn you, but these guys will come and tell you, no, don't worry. It was just like an error. We will handle it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your counsel. You're doing a good job.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the top management of our organization. It is my pleasure to go to the front. Osman Hassan, who has been our second vice president.
Thank you. Osman, that's the one who will be. And well, thank you so much. He's always smiling. He's a guy who likes to organize things. And I should tell you, there's a lot of effort background that is done, even in this event. He's always pushing it up. We don't know do this event. Thank you so much. And the president is proud of you. He told me to say it openly that he's proud of the service you provided, the support that you rendered. Thank you.
Viva Nom! Viva Nom! We are so glad that we are participating in the 50-50 campaign. Our outgoing first vice president, Hanan Devan.
Thank you so much, Hannah, for the service. And that majestic stage is what has really moved Nom to this far. We're so proud and thank you for the service that we rendered. Oh, by the way, you look like Chris. Thank you so much. You know, the attire, it looks like it's one general doing it. Thank you so much. It looks nice, so beautiful. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, very big humble pleasure to bring to you President, the National Organization of Nurses Midwives of Malawi for the past 4 years or so. We would want to appreciate him, but he is not alone. The First Lady is also here. Can I invite the First Lady in front? I'm going to say no, right? Meza is a wife to Shouts Meza. A very good example to you students. You can marry a Meza if we have. Okay? Can I go deeper there? I'm saying you can marry a Meza if we have. Yeah, so thank you so much. This is our little couple of this couple. Take bright pictures. Take bright pictures. Yes, yes. There's a big smile. Sure, nice, that looks great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shouts. Gananda, Makumbo Sebeza for the
A very big thank you, our minister, and the distinguished guests. You can take your seats. Thank you so much. Can we stand up? I think we've sat for such a long time. We need to stretch. We need to stretch before we go to the other things on the agenda. So we're going to have our song. We just want to dance, you know? Stretch.
DJ, when did you go to the major? I don't know, my name is Somakia, Major. Imagine Makia. Hey, I'm not so going to be a
DJ aliyumile Bangono. DJ alipeleka Sobanji.
Viva Nam! We are the chat. Yes, we are the hosts. So. All right, thank you. We're gonna have our seats. You change the gears at some time. Thank you. We have to proceed. We have to keep time as well. So at this juncture, may I invite Dr. Charles Masambo, the Secretary for Health, and the smiling doctor to come and address us.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to appreciate him in a special way for a reason. When I joined nursing, the veterans I've interacted with, they will tell you there were two doctors at KCH and Queens. They mentioned there was Dr. Charles Mansab and Dr. Azembe. I had never gotten a chance to interact with any of this. When I was a qualified nurse, they were already in top positions as it is. But everything that nurses and midwives speak about these two doctors is good news. There is an example of what character can do. Character can get you associated in the spaces that you don't even belong. When I call him an associate nurse midwife, I'm not just saying, go ask the Dr. Poyas. They'll tell you, we should have not been here as a profession without these pillars supporting us in the life. So we are so thankful and we appreciate you. I thought I did the invitation, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Director. You're most embarrassing. Okay, let me recognize the presence of Honorable Minister Honorable KHUMBIZE, CHIPONDA MP. I thought you'd also make an honorary midwife and nurse, because she's performed all her duties well here. So I'm looking that way, but also looking at you, because she's doing wonderfully well, especially looking at the work you have done. So, Honorable Minister, I think from today onwards, you have been crowned with that honorary nurse midwife. So let me also recognize the Deputy Director of Nursing, Mrs. Kutumula, who is present here. The President of NOM, Shouts Sneza. I want to add on the middle names, because I realize that he's more than one middle name. Let me also recognize the President of Amami, Keith Lipato, the CEO the Executive Director for NOM, Peter Mvuma, and also let me recognize the Nurse and Midwives Council, Madam Judith Chirembo, the NOM Executive, the MAM Executive, also our visitors from Kenya, led by T. Foso, the Marketing Officer for Heart, Old Mutual, Mazin, our guest colleagues, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I had to check my time, because when you're having fun, you don't know whether it's still morning or it's gone on to the afternoon. And indeed, I didn't even feel it that we've gone past 12 o'clock. I mean, who felt it here? Nobody. Yes, that means we're having fun. Thank you very much for inviting us to this function. As you can see from the program, we had another meeting this morning. In fact, the office had called for a PS's meeting, but I guess the SPC must have realized that there was an important function for me to attend. So that meeting has been postponed to next week, so that I can be here with you this morning and afternoon. So that gives me joy. I always look forward to the non-meetings because, as Keith has said, we interact on a regular basis. I don't want to mention the President's measure here because now and again we interact to make sure that the health system is moving forward. When people see what comes out on social media or in the press, you think that we're always like exchanging blows with these people. But no, I mean, we are there working together to make sure that we deliver good service to the Malawians. So please, be the people to deliver that service. And I'm glad that you are the backbone of the service and you continue to do that over the years. As a pediatrician, I cannot be a successful pediatrician without you, Vanessa. So I think we need to continue working together as a team. But I know that as a union, we do look at the rights, and I'm glad that your current leadership also emphasizes on the responsibility. So as a union and as an association, let's make sure that in addition to our rights, we also take care of the responsibilities. Working with the team in the ministry, we've had the issues, and most of them we actually addressing, and the Honorable Minister will respond to some of the issues that the President has raised, so I'll not go much on that, but to just wishing you well as you usher in, either you continue with the old executive or usher in new membership. So all I can do now is to wish you all the best during the election. I'll be monitoring from the distance, make sure that there's no corruption with the voting. So with those few remarks, it's now my noble task to request the Minister to address the meeting, and wishing you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Masambo, our Secretary for Health. Let me recognize the presence of our Deputy Director of Nursing and Midwifery Services, Mrs. Lucy Kodomura, all directors, deputy directors in the Ministry of Health and Population who are present this afternoon. Let me also recognize the presence of the President of NOM, Mr. Charles Karanada, Makumbo, Kombo, Simeza, and all of the National Executive Council. I just like to add mine. The NOM Executive Director, Mr. Peter Mvuma, we are honored to finally see you. Hey, Commander, I never saw more than you. My director, also, let me recognize the presence of our President, Amani President, and Mr. Keith Ricardo. We are honored that you could make it to Lilongwe. All presidents and the SGs of other health associations and unions who are present this morning, I'm so happy that you keep on supporting each other. It is very important that we attend each other's functions, we learn from each other, but we also advise each other. And it is very important because we are all members of one family. Let me also recognize the representative from Ministry of Labor who is present, Mr. Frank Adini. Thank you so much for your presence. But also the representative from Hatch, Mr. Ofo Cliff. Thank you so much for making it to Malawi. We don't take it for granted. It is very expensive to travel these days. International travel prices of tickets, they have gone up but we really appreciate. It just shows your commitment to us as Malawi government. So thank you so much. Let me also recognize the presence of the MCTU leadership present this afternoon. Thank you so much for coming. Our college principals, deputy directors from central hospitals, and all district nursing and midwifery officers present, hospital matrons from CHUM hospitals, and all nursing and midwifery leaders who are present this afternoon, the registrar of nurses and midwives, Mrs. Judith Chirembo, who is present this morning. Thank you so much for coming. All stakeholders present here, but most importantly, our officials from Old Mutual, thank you for your support. From Mazin, thank you so much for the support which you give to this organization as known. But most importantly, us as Ministry of Health, we do not take it for granted. All representatives of our development partners, more especially Norwegian Nurses Organization and the LHL International in particular, we say thank you for the support which you have given, more especially to make this occasion possible. All nurses and midwives from all walks of life from the different districts of Malawi, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Viva Nomu, viva! Viva! Viva Nomu, viva! Viva! Viva Nomu, viva! Viva! It is my pleasure to join you at this year's ordinary biannual General Assembly. I missed the extraordinary meeting last year because of some other engagements. I understand that we have nurses and midwives from all the zones and all the districts of Malawi, which is indeed a true representation of the whole country. Therefore, this demonstrates how important this event is. And allow me, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and also the Master of Ceremonies, to thank the organizing committee for inviting me to preside over this very, very important occasion. I do not take it for granted. Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin my remarks by applauding the nursing and midwifery workforce in general for their tireless efforts in the provision of health services in Malawi. The Health Sector Strategic Plan stresses my ministry's responsibility and commitment to ensuring the promotion of quality of life for all Malawians through the delivery of essential health package in order to achieve universal health coverage, meaning that all people have access to health services, not just have access, but also quality access, and that includes promotive health services, preventive health services, curative health services, rehabilitative, and of course palliative, while also ensuring that the end user is not exposed to financial hardships. I surely know that this cannot be achieved without you. So thank you so much, and I really need to start with that to show you that all your good works do not go unnoticed. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Coming to the event, which is called the Biennial General Assembly BGA, I like the theme, nursing and midwifery around the world, an investment to attain universal health coverage and also sustainable goals. Sustainable goal number 3 talks about good health and good well-being. This is a very powerful thing and a very timely one, considering that we have only 8 years left now. And now we have to start taking a deep reflection on our place as a country towards attaining UHC and also our SDGs. And indeed, as the theme puts it, nursing and midwifery remain pivotal to this agenda. And as a nation, we have no excuse at all to timely move and invest in nursing and midwifery professions, and above all, celebrate, but also recognize and indeed motivate our nurses and our midwives if we are to achieve any of these global health goals. This is what WHO is also strongly encouraging its member states to do. And I quote the call from Dr. Tedros, who is WHO Director General, who said, I quote, "The role of nurses and midwives is very important to realize our sustainable goals, the Agenda 2030. A force can realize health for all, a force that can realize universal health coverage. You have a huge contribution and an impact. And that is why it is important for any country to recognize nurses and midwives as key members of health workforce that can help realize the dream of any country in terms of better quality of care, and it's something that really we don't need to debate." End of quote. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our Director of Ceremonies, while I'm talking about universal health coverage and sustainable goals, allow me to also acknowledge the commitment that you, our nurses and midwives, displayed during the COVID-19 as frontline fighters in my ministry. Those who have spoken before me, they have also stressed on this issue, and I really want to take this opportunity to once again express our sincere gratitude on behalf of the ministry, but also on behalf of all Malawians across the country. You came out shining, you gave it all. Commitment, dedication, words even fail to express ourselves the way you gave yourselves, the selflessness, servant leadership. This is what we call servant leadership. That is what you portrayed during the COVID-19. You were there when everybody else, they were hiding in our homes, but you were there. You did not hide, you did not want anything. You just wanted to save Malawians. Really, this time around, you answered to your call. You answered to the pledge which you make each and every year. You make these pledges, you all the time, you recite them. This time around, during COVID-19, you really answered to the pledges, and for that we say thank you so much. This is the kind of commitment in which we want you to portray all the time, not just because of COVID, no. Even now we have cholera, there are other people outside there. We have over 200 patients of cholera, and I know we have nurses who are attending to our cholera patients. Cholera, you know how highly infectious it is. Very, very highly infectious. It is a challenge, it is an outbreak which all of us we have to address at this time around, more especially now that the rainy season is going to start. So we need to stay committed, but not only to this infectious disease, committed also to non-communicable disease. There's still a problem with us as we're talking now. Issues of mental health. Some of you leave nursing now, you become a pastor, you become a parent, you become, I don't know, to these patients. Because you need to talk to them, you need to motivate them, you need to bring up their self-esteem. You do so many things, you wear so many hats when you're doing your jobs. And for that, I appreciate. We have so many challenges, and that really I acknowledge some of them. They have been mentioned by our executive director. He mentioned some of them, and of course our president also mentioned some of them. You went under very challenging environments. That I acknowledge, and I know. There was a team which came from Botswana. I think it was the Deputy Minister of Health from Botswana, with his colleagues from the Minister of Health. They came to Malawi, and they had a visit to KAMUZU Hospital, and I think by the hospital as well. When they came to pay a courtesy support to say that to me, the minister said, you know what, I need to get a team from Botswana to come and see. Because our nurses, our doctors, our clinicians in Botswana, their work environment is so good, but they don't respond. In fact, you will say, your workforce, they are the best. Considering the circumstances, considering the environment which you have to work with. Not all of us were lucky to make it work at the KCH. It might be much better. Some of the sections, anyway, not all of them. Of course, you go to the children's ward, it's another issue. Orthopedic, you don't even want to go there. There are so many challenges there. And some of us from health centers. How many are from health centers here, from Red Cross? How many? I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. It's talking about STEM. It's not easy at all. Most of our data centers, they're in the rural areas. And I applaud you, because some of you, the president said, deployment, you need to deploy them. I'm going to deploy you. But when we write you a letter to say, go to Sandy, please, our people, they need services there, because that is the challenge as well sometimes. We will deploy you, but you don't go there, because all of us want to have the comfort of the city, which is understandable. But we have a call to save Malawians. That is our duty. Our priority is to save Malawians. Now I have Malawians in Hidikoma, I have Malawians in Jarira, I have Malawians in Fatima, I have Malawians in Kamene, I have Malawians everywhere. I have Malawians there. They need your services. They need your services. So please, when we deploy all these places, I know some of the places they are not that comfortable. It is very difficult to get there. That is why our president really has put his foot down on the development of rural roads. We are so lucky, we are so fortunate that we have our partners who are responding very well to make sure that we improve the infrastructures, especially in the rural areas. Meaning there should be roads, we should have electricity, even in those places. As a ministry, we have commenced on the construction of headquarters, which was one issue which was raised here. But now we are saying we also need good staff houses for our people, for our nurses, for our midwives. Because it does not make sense to get a nurse from here, go to Chagile, and then they sleep in a hut. So we have said, that's cost two beautiful staff houses, and this is what we are doing. I mean, I know what they can justify. We have our partners who are also assisting us. Government, we have started the 55. We have our partners who already have done maybe about 23, Red Cross, JTI, all of them that are supporting government efforts in the construction of the workforce as well as staff housing. So just to address the point that we are also concerned with the welfare of our workforce. We are very lucky, we are very fortunate that when we went to Congo with the president, we also met people from Clinton Global Initiative that are also interested in the welfare of the health workforce. So they have chosen 4 countries: Malawi, Sierra Leone, Uganda, and I think it's Kenya. It will be the first 4 countries in Africa that are going to give us $100 million US just for strengthening and equipment of health workforce and nothing else. So these are the issues. We are trying to do this in order, to assist you. You have already talked about the workload. We know very well that you are workload. The work which is supposed to be done by maybe 10 nurses, you find that it's only 2 nurses there. We acknowledge that. We know we need to recruit more. But we also understand that we have got a very limited fiscal space. That things have been very, very difficult economically for us, not just Malawi, globally, because of COVID and some other issues.